Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? At this time, we ask that you take your seats and also please silence or turn off all mobile devices for the duration of the ceremony. Our commencement will begin shortly. Thank you. All guests, welcome to the commencement of Capital University Law School. Ladies and gentlemen, we will begin with the national anthem, followed by the invocation by Capital University Pastor Drew Tucker. Please stand for the national anthem and remain standing for the invocation.
Please take a posture of prayer that is comfortable for you. Here, on the historic lands of the Hopewell and Adena cultures, of the Miami and Shawnee peoples, we invite the presence of the Holy One who gives holy purpose to our work. Today, we gather to celebrate the vocation of law and especially to commission these students who today take their next step in the purpose of the legal profession. Be with us now as we celebrate their accomplishments. Remind them to rejoice at a job well done, and with the bar in front of them, encourage them to put these accomplishments to work in ways that bring abundant life to all people. We pray this all in gratitude and grace. Amen.
Welcome, please be seated. Buenas tardes y bienvenidos. Mi nombre es Reynaldo Anaya Valencia y yo soy el dean de Capital University Law School. I welcome you in Spanish because that is my mother tongue, and that is the language that I feel most at home with and in comfort with. And that's my goal for all of you today. I know everybody's a little bit nervous, a little bit scared, but I want the friends and family, as well as the graduates, to take a deep breath, relax, and make yourselves at home. Están en su casa. We're going to have a great ceremony to celebrate the 3 or 4 hard years of work that your loved ones have been having, and I want you to feel comfortable. Capital University is a school in the tradition of the Christian tradition from the Lutheran faith, but we welcome people of all faiths and those of none. And so I always tell people at graduation, don't make yourself too much at home where you're putting your feet up on the furniture because the president and the provost will not like that, but please do relax and have a good time today. We're here for a very special purpose. My first goal is to introduce the stage party, and let me introduce, starting on my right, we have our distinguished colleague and faculty marshal, Professor Jeff Ferriel. It's an extra special graduation for Professor Ferriel because today is his final graduation ceremony as a full-time faculty member after 45 years of teaching law. To his left is the Provost and Vice President for Learning, Dr. Jody Fournier. Next is our commencement speaker and 1967 alum, Tom Baruch. To Tom's left is the president of Capital University, Dave Kaufman. And then, as you met earlier, to my left is University Pastor Duke Tucker. And to the Capital Class of 2023, your valedictorian, Morgan McCracken. And at the far end is Professor Chris Armstrong, who will be announcing our graduates' names today. Joining us behind the stage party are the faculty, administration, and staff of Capital University who have gotten you all the way to where you are today. So give them a hand. You know, I graduated law school 33 years ago. Professor Smith, who's up here in a similar colored robe, and I graduated together from our law school 33 years ago. And it's just incredible how fast time goes by. But in those 33 years, I have never forgotten how much effort and sacrifice and work it took to get there. And I get so excited every year when I get to see the students in front of me who will soon be graduates, because I remember the torture and the pain of law school. And because I was a first-generation Mexican-American who had never had anybody go on to college, I also had that on me. And everybody's got their struggles when they go to law school. My mom had 13 brothers and sisters. My dad had 17 brothers and sisters. None of them finished high school, except my dad's 2 youngest sisters, and no one went on to college. So when I was going to college, it was just an entirely different world. And I remember so well, and I know some of you graduates here before me are doing this. You know, some people go through law school and they're eating only tuna fish to get by. And they're paying their MasterCard with their Visa, and their Visa with the American Express, and the American Express with something else, and just trying all to make it all work and to get it to happen. And so it will be okay. You will get there, and today is part of that process. And the next step, of course, is going to be the bar exam. But it will be worth it, and all the sacrifice and all the pain, it's going to get you there. I have a special regard and great admiration for this class because they started here when I started here and when President Kaufman started here. We all started here 3 years ago. In the midst of the pandemic, in March of 2020, whether you were in school or working or doing other things, the entire world went into quarantine. And by the time that this class started law school in the fall of 2020, when I came in as dean and President Kaufman came in as president, the whole world had been flipped upside down. The law school was essentially a tomb. The fountains were covered. Nobody was in the classrooms. We had almost no day classes, a very few night classes. And that was the first year for all of you in front of me. The second year, which was last year, you all came back, and we had gotten to in-person learning, but we were all masked. And we couldn't do anything in terms of anything that violated social distance requirements. So we were not having parties, we were not having get-togethers, we were not having student organizations or anything like that. It wasn't until the end of spring semester of your second year that we finally started to open up and Barrister's Ball happened in person and all that. And so it is really this year that we have had some level of normalcy, that we're going to class unmasked, not social distanced, and finally beginning to settle down. So it's been a wonderful journey, but it's been an unusual journey to have to go to law school with all the challenges that you had. But I think that especially is going to make you well-fitted for the practice of law and for the next major obstacle that you face, which is the bar exam. So with that, I want to turn it over to our president, Dave Kaufman.
Thank you, Dean Valencia. Well, good afternoon. I tell you, it's an honor to join you as the 17th president of Capital University. And on behalf of our faculty and staff, I want to congratulate everyone for achieving your advanced degree today. And today we not only celebrate a milestone in your personal and academic growth, we also mark a beginning of new paths and opportunities yet to come. To the families and friends who've joined us for this special occasion, we recognize and appreciate the impact each of you has had on the graduates that we honor today. We greatly appreciate your support and your encouragement. Graduates, this is probably at least the third time you've walked across the stage to get a diploma. And though each one's a special milestone, I think this might be the most significant. I think it really signifies your personal commitment to growth, professional excellence, and lifelong learning. You know, Capital University Law School has a rich history that you're now part of. So as far back as 1852, the university's course catalog referenced a law school as fundamental to its educational philosophy. And then 50 years later, the law school opened, and across those since 1903, as a university and a college, we've stayed firm to the commitments to provide a quality, accessible, and equitable legal education for all. Over the years, the founding values of the university and the law school have remained steadfast, but we've had to evolve, and as we change what we do, we've never changed who we are or what we value. Forever transformed by your law school experience, you've been shaped by our mission, and that's a commitment to strengthen society and our legal system by doing three things: serving diverse communities well, promoting professionalism and ethics, and furthering discourse and knowledge. I encourage you to embrace this ideal and remember the relationships you developed at Capital. Because of interactions with your classmates, professors, and staff, you've changed, both personally and intellectually. Your Capital experience has prepared you to care, get involved, and make a lasting difference wherever you go and whatever you do. Prior to having the opportunity to serve as president of Capital University, I was CEO of Encova Insurance Group, and that's when I was introduced to Capital Law School. Our general counsel, our lead merger and acquisition attorney, our general business attorney, and our estate and tax attorneys were all graduates of Capital Law School, all outstanding professionals. I found them to consistently and faithfully guard their reputation and honor their personal and professional principles. Each has emerged as a trusted leader through impeccable character, professional excellence, and honest communication. I encourage you to model your values and behaviors after them. I watch them keep their goals inclusive and contribute to causes more significant than themselves. They understand that success really isn't about what you get, it's about what you give. It's not about what you do, it's who you are and what you value. Each of them has engaged and made a difference in our local community. They consistently demonstrate purpose-driven leadership where a promise made is a promise kept. And I found their handshake to be just as binding as a formal written contract. They earn my trust by simply saying what they're going to do and doing what they say. And I found them to make commitments very selectively, but the commitments they made, they followed through and carried out. That's been my professional experience with Capital Law graduates. Today you walk across the stage and into that special community of exceptional lawyers who truly do strengthen society and our legal system. Regardless of where life takes you tomorrow, today's a day to celebrate all you've achieved. Pause to embrace this moment. And as you come forward, take time, look back and reflect on all the obstacles and challenges you had to overcome. Dean Valencia referenced a lot of them. But while you're doing that, thank those that helped you overcome them, and maybe even more importantly, commit to paying it back by paying it forward and doing it for someone else. As a member of the Capital family, you're encouraged to keep in touch as you progress through your career and life journey. Engage with us, share your story, and nurture the lifelong connections you made through your time here. The university remains a trusted resource for your continued development, education, and guidance. I want to close by sharing a scripture verse displayed prominently in our law school. Micah 6:8 reads, "And what does the Lord require of you? To act justly and love mercy and to walk humbly with your God." This has served as the guiding principle for you during your time here at Capitol. Let it continue to guide you forward. It's a blessing and an honor to join you in this celebration as you enter the next chapter of your life. We are proud of you and celebrate who you are and all you've achieved. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, President Kaufman. Ladies and gentlemen, I reintroduce to you the class of 2023 valedictorian, Morgan McCracken.
Thank you, Dean Valencia. Thank you, President Kaufman. And good afternoon to all the deans, esteemed faculty, friends, family, and class of 2023. It is my honor to speak to you today as class of 2023's valedictorian. First, there are several congratulations and thank yous in order. First, congratulations to the class of 2023. We have spent 3 to 4 years and countless hours getting here. Today, we receive our law degree. Second, congratulations to the members of the class of 2023 who have already taken and successfully passed the bar exam. We are very jealous of you. Third, thank you to the deans and faculty for not only being willing to teach on Zoom, but also excelling at it. Don't worry, faculty. The panic that we felt during a cold call on Zoom was just as panic-inducing as it was in person, we assure you. Especially from Professor Guttenberg at 9 a.m. is a 1L. Finally, thank you to each member of our families who have supported us along the way, including parents, grandparents, partners, children, aunts, uncles, guardians, and all other biological or chosen family. Your support was invaluable, and we would not be here without you. But as much as this is a celebration for us, this is also a celebration for you. You dealt with our attitudes during midterms and finals, short or sometimes long phone calls and texts, or sometimes none at all. You have stood by our side through it all, and we thank you in advance for your continued support for the next 2 months as we study for the bar. On a personal note, thank you to my parents for all the last-minute trips from Oxford to Columbus to comfort and support me. Thank you to my classmates, Brooke Howard, Emily Dillaway, Madeline Norton, Sydney Sheeran, and countless others. I truly could not have survived the last 3 years without you, and each of us sitting here today should take time to thank and hug those classmates that were there for them. So when writing a speech to try to encapsulate all the memories that we have shared together over the past 3 to 4 years, I asked several students what their main takeaways are from Capitol. And despite numerous anecdotes and stories, they can be boiled down to these 3. Always wear layers. Regardless of the season, you never know what the temperature is going to be in the building. Always check if you're muted when you log into Zoom. The walk from the far lot doubles as a workout. Use your time wisely. Leaving the Zoom meeting when you get cold called is not as effective as you think it is. And finally, friendship. It is because of the struggles that we faced together and the laughter that we found when we were overburdened, buried, overwhelmed, and stressed that we built great lifelong friends. There are several things that I hope you to all take away from Capitol University Law School. First, the desire to continue learning. Think about all that we have learned in the past 3 to 4 years and imagine how much we will and we can learn throughout our careers. We started our law school career learning what vicarious liability was from Professor Gillis in orientation to who owned the fox from Professor Cohen. We then learned that PepsiCo did not seriously intend to convey a jet to its loyalty members from Professor Ferriel. Thank you, Professor Ferriel. Not to mention, we learned all of that over Zoom in our living rooms. Have confidence that Capitol has prepared us for the future by teaching us how to critically think, question our beliefs, research, write, and most importantly, understand the law. Now that we are graduating, we must enter the workforce and continue to work hard as Capitol has instilled in us. Second, I hope that when you face hardships in the future, you think back to your time at Capitol and know that you can overcome anything. We started law school completely remote during a global pandemic in a time of great uncertainty. We suffered through what seemed like endless weeks of finals each semester. Many of you suffered unthinkable personal losses. And evening students, you worked all day, went to school all night, you read hundreds of pages in a textbook each week, and somehow managed to spend time and take care of yourself. Many of you started or grew your family during your time at Capitol. Through all of this, we are sitting here today, and that is remarkable. Be proud of yourself. The hardships you faced during these past 3 years will positively impact your future. And third and finally, we are a community, and we can hold one another up throughout our careers. When I first visited Capitol in early 2020, I sat in on a lecture. I obviously looked out of place as I had no computer, pen, or paper, and I obviously dressed up to class. The three 1Ls that were sitting behind me, they offered me their number, and they told me whether or not I decided to go to Capitol, they would be happy to support me and provide me advice wherever law school I chose. And that made my decision easy for me. I felt welcomed and at home at Capitol already. Class of 2023, look around you. One of the most important things you are taking away from Capitol is the community. Although we had an unusual start to our law school career, as Dean Valencia and President Kaufman emphasized, we quickly adapted and learned how to mute and unmute on Zoom. Well, most of us. Starting law school in a global pandemic did not stop us from creating meaningful relationships with faculty and classmates. I know that as we begin our careers, no matter where each of us goes, Florida, South Carolina, West Virginia, Colorado, New Hampshire, the Capitol community supports you and is here for you. Thank you, Capitol University Law School, for friends that will last a lifetime and an education that we will forever cherish. May we all be successful in our future endeavors. Congratulations, class of 2023.
Thank you, Morgan. Each year, the law school recognizes students for outstanding achievement in academics, community service, advocacy, dedication to the life of the law school. I'd like to recognize our class of 2023 award recipients. Your service and engagement have enriched the law school and the wider community in so many ways. And your scholarship, leadership, and work ethic have inspired us all during your years at Capitol, from the classroom to the clinic to the courtroom, and in all the co-curricular programs you have organized and led. We honor you for the energy, the time, the talent that you have shared with us at Capitol University Law School. Recipients, please stand for a moment when your name is called. The American Law Institute Continuing Legal Education Scholarship and Leadership Award is given in recognition of the graduate who best represents a combination of scholarship and leadership, and this year's award goes to Samantha Shamhart. The Ron I. Friedman Memorial Service Award recognizes a graduating student who has actively contributed to the life of the law school through extracurricular activities, and this year that award goes to two people, Christian McCrory and Catherine Whirl. To acknowledge excellent work in the legal clinic, the law school awards the Roberta Mitchell Award. And this year, that award recipient is Caroline Laram. Each year, one or more students receive the Ambassador Award for promoting Capitol's mission, vision, and spirit. This year's Ambassador Award goes to these three individuals: John Hance IV, there you go, John, Nicole Linhard, and Nicole Van Gundy. Congratulations. Capitol Law School is very proud of its mock trial and moot court teams. The Order of the Barristers is an honorary society that recognizes student excellence in moot court, mock trial, and brief writing. Inducted into the Order of Barristers this year are the following individuals: Becca Alexander, Lauren Brown, Nicole Leonard, Michael Markoff, Kelsey Robinson, Parker Schwartz, Brianna Tolbert, and Nicole Van Gundy. Congratulations. We also acknowledge public service given by our law students who have completed at least 50 hours or more of pro bono legal service. This year's pro bono honorees are Maximilian Ecke, George Martin, Philip Silverman, Bryce Ramsey, Kathleen Broughton, Courtney Howard, Morgan McCracken, Brianna Wells, Catherine Whirl, Alexis Collins, Brianna Tolbert, Nicole Van Gundy again, Sydney Sheeran, William Legrone, Maria Bardis, there you go, Miranda Wrench, Anna Cotter, Madeline Norton, Shelby Gallagher, Alexis Hummer, and John Vance IV. Each year, at least one graduating student's commitment to pro bono service stands out by embodying the true spirit of pro bono, devoting the majority of volunteer hours to programs that provide direct legal assistance to indigent clients. The Pro Bono Spirit Award for 2023 goes to William T. Legrone. I am also pleased to present the Excellence in Pro Bono Service Award, which honors a graduate of the part-time program who, despite numerous personal, academic, and professional commitments, demonstrated extraordinary dedication to providing pro bono service. We award this award this year to Miranda Renish. The Capital Law School nominee for the National Association of Women Lawyers Outstanding Student Award is Rebecca Alexander. The Public Interest Award honors one or more graduating students that have demonstrated outstanding public service to Capital University Law School and the surrounding community. This year's award goes to Maria Bardis. And last but certainly not least, the Dean's Award, honoring outstanding scholarship, leadership, and overall contributions to Capital University Law School, goes to Bella Jagielewski. I know I'm going to butcher that, sorry. Congratulations again to all of the 2023 award recipients. You deserve the recognition for all of your efforts. It is now my great privilege to introduce our commencement speaker, who is one of your very own. So I'm going to go through his bio at some length because I think it is so important for us as we go through life to have role models. And to have Tom Baruch with us today, given his many accomplishments, to share time and remarks with you is a real special honor that we're having. Tom Baruch currently invests in the early-stage companies focused on resource-scarce and climate-sensitive markets out of his family office, Baruch Future Ventures. Tom founded Formation 8 in 2011, a venture capital fund with $950 million under management, and currently serves as an emeritus partner. Tom earlier had formed CMEA Capital in 1988 with New Enterprises and 3M Corp. Tom was responsible for managing a total of $1.2 billion of capital across 7 funds at CMEA, where he personally led investments resulting in 18 IPOs, including a variety of IPOs. 10 of Tom's successful portfolio exits were at market capitalizations of greater than $1 billion in the unicorn category. Earlier in his career, Tom worked at ExxonMobil for 12 years and later founded Microwave Technology, where he served as CEO for 6 years. Currently, he serves on the boards of Windfall Bio and Prism Bio and numerous privately held companies and public service entities. Tom was a founding member of the Obama National Advisory Council on Innovation and Entrepreneurship, where he advised the U.S. Department of Commerce and the White House. He is a member of the Executive Committee of the U.S. Council of Competitiveness and a member of the Steering Committee of its Energy, Security, Innovation, and Sustainability Initiatives and the U.S. Manufacturing Competitiveness. Tom is a senior advisor to Breakthrough Energy Ventures, a $2.2 billion venture capital fund founded by Bill Gates that is dedicated to investing in climate-impactful companies. BFV and Breakthrough Energy Ventures have co-invested in 4 companies, Tom has an engineering degree from Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, where he currently serves as a trustee, and has a JD graduate from Capital University Law School in 1967. That is, that is what is on the paper. What I want to tell you about Tom is we have had such a wonderful time getting to know him. The president and our director of regional development, Sean Cleveland, and I were supposed to be out in Northern California, where Tom and his wife, Johanna, who's right here with us, brilliant and creative artist in her own right, live. And my son, unfortunately, had an appendectomy emergency, and I wasn't able to go on that trip. But the president went out to visit Tom and Johanna, and then I later went after that. And in addition to that, I asked Tom to zoom into my business associations class, and those of you who were in my business associations class remember in the fall. He was very generous with his time, and he has been here since Friday and has had meetings with faculty and staff. They are such unassuming, wonderful people. This that I just read to you does not capture what's really important about them. What's really important about Tom and Johanna is that they care about others, they care about the world, they care about being kind, and they care about you as our graduates. So with that, I introduce Tom Baruch.
Well, this has been fantastic. Thank you all for being here, and thank you all for doing what you're doing. I address Dean Valencia, the Board of Trustees, distinguished faculty and staff, proud siblings, and parents and children and spouses, and of course, the Capital University Law class of 2023. Congratulations. This is a remarkable achievement, and I'm grateful you've let this adventurous old man celebrate it with you. You're actually letting me relive my own law school graduation. This was 1967. Thurgood Marshall had just been appointed to the Supreme Court. The Beatles had told us, all you need is love. And I remember that day, as though it was today. I felt like I had all I needed. I remember I bought a new suit, first one ever, I think. And I remember my parents had driven from New York City to Columbus, 9-hour trip, probably about the same today, which doesn't say much for technology. I do not remember our commencement speaker or what they said. In fact, I tried to Google it. No luck. The school only keeps a speaker list dating back to 1996. In case any of you wanted to know that. However, this turned out to be a very fortunate discovery because I was anxious about giving this speech. This school means so much to me. And then I realized there are no records of my time here. I can make up anything I want. And who's going to fact check it? The truth is, I was a very unlikely law student. All I knew about the law when I applied to college was New York State drinking laws. At the age of 18, you could drink beer in New York State, which is how I ended up at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute outside of Albany, instead of MIT in Cambridge, Massachusetts, where the drinking age was 21. So I clearly had my priorities straight. And in that regard, all I wanted to be was an engineer. I was so allergic to liberal arts that I actually joined ROTC against my principles. But I found out if I marched around a local high school parking lot 2 times a week, the university would excuse me from all liberal arts courses. Because I speak German, my parents were straight off the boat from Berlin. It was the worst grade I ever received. So there's 0 chance I would have ever picked up a law book after college had I not stopped one day at the place of my employment, which was Battelle, which I think many of you probably recognize. And this was my first job, and I moved there, and about 2 years into the job, on the hallway bulletin board, I noticed a sign advertising night courses at Franklin University. That's what the school was called back then. Actually, we made the transition from Franklin to Capitol while I was there, and we never looked back. But anyway, I had actually been pursuing a graduate program in engineering at Ohio State, which was across the street from my office, but I spent most of my time running back and forth and not getting anything done very well. And it just became a very difficult balancing act to be in graduate school at the same time, working 8 hours a day or sometimes more. But so I said, well, Capitol University sounds interesting. So I went to the school, which was located in the YMCA building here in Columbus, and met the dean. His name was Ralph Clapp, and suddenly realized that maybe I made a mistake. But the dean was very persuasive. Either that or he didn't have much to do, because he spent the entire afternoon talking to me. I can still see him leaning back in his chair, painting a vivid picture of how the school could support all of my ambitions. Afterwards, he walked out of the room, came back with some papers, and said, why don't you take this Iowa law placement test? That was before the college boards. And so I said, okay. So I sat and took about an hour to answer all the questions. And he looked at it, came back into the room and said, I think you might do very well here. And he was right. It totally changed my life. I mean, there's an ivory tower version of law school, which is comprised of all-nighters spent in sheltered libraries, studying purely theoretical debates between scholars who died 100 years ago. But my time here was not that. When the semester started, I had a young family, and I was clocking 8 hours a day or more at work, analyzing properties of materials like magnesium and iron, and there were just 1,000 different ideas running through my head all the time, and sometimes they actually fused together. For example, at school, I'd study trusts and estate law. Then I'd come home at night and see my children and realize I should probably write a will. So I'd had the opportunity to study patent law at Capitol, then go to work at Battelle the next morning and run experiments when I thought the results would be obvious, but quite often something unexpected happened. And I found out, because of my legal training in patent law, that non-obvious results could be patentable under US law. It was then I realized that law wasn't so different from the materials that I worked with. For example, talking about magnesium and iron, they're generally pretty boring. But when you mix them together, when you heat the iron until it's actually molten, and you add magnesium, you get literal fireworks. Now, to the graduates, I know you come from a very different generation, but in this way, I think we're very alike. Because I'll bet that your legal education, especially based on what I heard from a lot of the profs yesterday, was more like mine than the ivory tower, silent library version that I described before. For some of you, the law is a second career, or you earned this degree while raising families and holding down jobs. Your lives didn't stop for law school. I'm sure that was a challenge, but my message to you is it can also be a profound advantage because, and I suspect I'll get some disagreement on this point, but because the law is a dry thing. It lives in a book. It's inactive. It's inert. But when you combine the law with other disciplines, that's when you feel the heat and see the light. When you see the law through the eyes of non-lawyers, that's when you get the fireworks. And that's been the story of my life, fireworks. As an example, after law school, I joined the patent department at Patel, where they had undertaken a very secret initiative to develop a machine that could transfer carbon particles onto paper. It was called the Haloid Project. The Haloid Corporation had contracted with our patent department to do the IP work for the machine that Patel was developing. It used a rotating drum coated with a thin layer of a metal called selenium. And because my boss at Patel knew I had worked on selenium and some other aspects of my engineering work, he said, why don't you write up some of the patent disclosures related to this? Well, this was one of the big early breaks of my career, because later, some advertising executives on Madison Avenue convinced the Haloid Corporation CEO, a guy named Joseph Wilson, to change the name of the company from Haloid to, guess what? Xerox. The Xerox copier changed business forever. It also made many people at my company very rich because they bought into the IPO. But not me. I had a chance to buy stock before the IPO, but I didn't see the point back then. I only had a JD, not an MBA. I can also tell a story about my father, who was a physician, was also an amateur musician where he lived in Berlin, and he actually played the violin in a chamber musical group with a young physicist whose name happened to be Albert Einstein. And it's been said that when Einstein was trying to unlock the mysteries of the universe, he'd play the violin for inspiration. And you know that when Lincoln was drafting the Emancipation Proclamation, he read Euclid's theorems on geometry. Now, very few of us are Einsteins or Lincolns, but we can do what they do. Every one of you can do it. find inspiration at the intersection of themes. It doesn't work for old technology, but lately I've been working with companies pioneering a new field called synthetic biology. I've already bored you with the science lesson from magnesium and iron, so I'll save most of the science for the other day. But the short version is synthetic biology applies the principles of engineering to the building blocks of life, DNA, to make things like fuel and medicine and chemicals. You need to use oil and gas. By using instead enzymes from DNA to make things like proteins that our body makes, you can manufacture products with 0 carbon emissions. If the world solves climate change, and I urgently hope that happens, we can do it. But we will do it by combining disciplines. There is no shortage of challenges today that demand for novel and creative approaches. We are struggling mightily through the interlocking crises of climate change, geopolitical instability, and inequality. Trying the same old strategies just yields the same obvious results. The challenges also always occur, always require us to make forceful, effective solutions from solutions we can forge at the intersection of disciplines. There's no simple engineering fix to the problems I talked about, and there's no simple legal maneuver that will solve them. Every solution that you are called on to find in your lives and careers will take the kind of out-of-box thinking you've done every day here at Capital University. I found out all about it yesterday, and it's very different from the way we learned law a long time ago. So today, you're lawyers. But my wish is that you stay so much more than that. Have other ambitions and outside pursuits, side hustles, second careers, hobbies, families. Come back to the school and audit courses in science. Come back to the school and audit courses in public policy. Take long vacations to odd places with the people you love. Because if you do, you will live a life so long and eventful and full of discovery and love that you won't remember your commencement speaker either. Even if he was very, very brilliant. So I say to you all, fellow attorneys, welcome to life after law school. As one lawyer once told me a long time ago, I think you'll do very well here. Congratulations.
I have been an academic for 33 years, and one of the things I love about our law school graduates is that whether you go out and represent indigent clients, whether you go out and become a prosecutor or a big firm lawyer, or you decide to handle $2.2 billion in investments, the law degree is a flexible degree that prepares you for so much. And it is so wonderful to have somebody who set in the metaphorical seats that you're sitting in and walk through the metaphorical halls that you walk in, because the school was at a different place at that time, and is willing to come back and share with you the great wisdom after so much success. So again, we thank you, Tom, for being with us, and we appreciate your remarks. And now the moment you have all been waiting for so patiently. Will the candidates for the Masters in Legal Studies, Masters of Laws in Business, and Juris Doctorate please stand? Raise the roof! On behalf of the law faculty, it is my privilege to present the candidates for Master in Legal Studies, Master of Laws in Business, and Juris Doctor to President Kaufman.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I confer the degrees of Master in Legal Studies, Master of Laws in Business, and Juris Doctor with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities upon those who have satisfied the requirements for each of these degrees. Please be seated until you're asked to come forward to be hooded.
Up the ramp. Hello. Congratulations. For the degree of Master of Laws in Business, Jillian Batayunga. For the degree of Master of Legal Studies, Jesse Southard. For the degree of Master of Legal Studies, Madison Patricia King. For the degree of Juris Doctor, Morgan Lee McCracken. Matthew W. Abraham, cum laude. William Naylor Albers, cum laude, hooded by his father, John B. Albers. Rebecca Alexander, summa cum laude. Kyle David Baker. Caitlin Baltus, hooded by Brian Stafford, her brother-in-law. Maria Nicolaus Bardis. Samuel Adam Beckwith, cum laude. Melinda J. Benson, hooded by Claire R. Freed, her mentor. Veronica Taylor Bishop, hooded by Mark Collins and Caitlin Stevens, her mentors. Austin Joseph Borer. Lauren K. Brennan. Mark Douglas Brimberry, Jr. Kathlena Ray Broughton, summa cum laude. Lauren Brown. Chase Michael Klauser, cum laude. Hooded by Michael Klauser and Rebecca Klauser, his father and mother. Alexis Brianna Collins. Anna Rebecca Cotter, magna cum laude. September Marie Coyne, magna cum laude. Dustin Theodore Cremines, summa cum laude. Tanner C. Cremines, hooded by Judge Robert C. Winkler, his mentor. Lane A. Daly. Tavis Tyrone Deleuze Cates, cum laude. Adam S. Doherty, cum laude. Hooded by Joseph Horter, his father-in-law. Elizabeth Ann Harley Day, summa cum laude. Samantha Diatley, hooded by Judge Karen Held Phillips, her mother-in-law. Emily J. Dillaway, hooded by Thomas Kaskowski, her mentor. Alexis Eileen Dodge, hooded by Jeremy Dodgen, her mentor. Haley D'Oliveira, cum laude, hooded by John D'Oliveira, her father. Ian Andrew Dollenmayer, summa cum laude. Alexander Jeffrey Dover, magna cum laude. Tiara A. Dowling, hooded by Karia Ruffin, her mentor. Madeline Ann Drinko, hooded by Donald Drinko, her father. Grace Elizabeth Dunn, hooded by Greg Dunn, her father. Maximilian Colby Icky, cum laude, hooded by James M. Linehan, his mentor. Logan Michael Evans, Taylor M. Iwashinka, hooded by Heather Iwashinka, his mother. Tess L. Frazier, hooded by Judge Dawn Frazier, her father. Shelby Gallagher, Lauren Getchy, summa cum laude, hooded by Sydney Braverman, her mother. Blake Douglas Hamler, John Doval Hance IV, magna cum laude. Jason Christopher Helmstetler, Sienna Dawn Hill, Evan Hoffman, hooded by Scott Hoffman, his father. Tyler Houston, Brooke Catherine Howard, magna cum laude. Courtney P. Howard, Samuel Lawrence Huffman, magna cum laude, hooded by Matthew Carl Huffman, his father. Alexis Kendall Hummer, Dominic Iannetta, Isabella Ann Jagelski, hooded by Elizabeth Magg, her mentor. Ashley Nicole Johnson, Daniel Johnson, Logan M. Kame, cum laude. Nathan R. Kemmer, cum laude. Ian Steele Kiefer. Amanda Catherine Kilway, summa cum laude. Bobby Joe Krokowski. Jonathan Lacrosse. Hooded by Matthew Camella, his cousin. William T. Lagrone. Hooded by Yvonne Lagrone, his mother. Caroline August Larman, summa cum laude. Veronica Larkin, hooded by John Larkin, her father, and Soraya Larkin, her mother. Hunter E. Legeza. Nicole Roberta Lenhard, cum laude. Hooded by Sean Thivener, her mentor. Kayla Leanne Lewis. Hooded by Sydney Strickland Saffold, her mentor. Megan Jet Lingle, cum laude. Derek Maitland, cum laude. Motaz Mandili, magna cum laude. Michael Spiro Markoff II. George Stephen Martin. Christian Greer McGorry, magna cum laude. Logan Grant Minix. Emily Lynn Morrison, magna cum laude. Madeline Michelle Norton. Emilio Paisano. Eric A. Parker, summa cum laude. Brenna Parsley, summa cum laude. Nicholas Gregory Pauley, cum laude. Daniela Marie Prosser. Oliver S. Raker, summa cum laude. Hooded by Keith Raker, his uncle. Bryce E. Ramsey, summa cum laude. Hooded by Lucas Repka, his cousin. Catherine I. Reed. Miranda L. Wrench. Kara Rieger, hooded by Caitlin Street, her mentor. Kelsey Joe Robinson. Lindsay Marie Rovito, hooded by Joel Rovito, her father. Kenneth Dale Sapp, summa cum laude, hooded by Melinda K. Small, his mentor. Emma Luann Saxby, cum laude, hooded by Derek Fisher, her uncle. Hunter Thomas Schmidlin. Theodore Parker Schwartz, magna cum laude. Abby Ray Sefcik, hooded by Terry Hummel, her mentor. Sadie Ann Shaheen, hooded by Eugene Kazantis, her cousin. Samantha Loren Shamhart, summa cum laude. Sydney C. Sheeran. Abby Marie Simmons, hooded by Betty Murdoch, her mentor. David Robert Slepsky. Justin Michael Souls, cum laude. Shelby L. Sprouse, cum laude. Stephanie Stack Simone, hooded by Dean Stack, her mother. James Stahman, cum laude. Alexander James Strickmaker. Emily Diane Zalay. Riley Michelle Tate, hooded by Nicole Tate, her aunt. David J. Taynor. Brianna Tolbert. Jennifer Tran. Hooded by Amy Bostick, her mentor. Nicole Van Gundy, cum laude. Alexis Vilk. Hooded by Jenny Wormoltz, her mentor. Jillian Page Vogt. Kelly Kathleen Wallers. Hooded by Catherine Markajon, her mentor. Jenna Ann Walker. Brianna Renee Wells, magna cum laude. Robert Paul Wisniewski II. Robert Lane Woodruff. Hooded by Jason Price, his uncle. Catherine Grace Worrell. Chloe Nicole Young.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, one last time I present to you the 2023 graduating class of Capital University Law School. Let's hear it. In addition to congratulating our graduates, we also want to recognize special individuals who have helped make this day possible. Will the spouses, significant others, children of the graduates please stand and remain standing? It is your dedication. There you go. It is your dedication, understanding, and sacrifice that have aided your graduate in attaining this impressive goal. Next, will the parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, extended family members, and friends please stand and remain standing? It is your support and pride in the accomplishments of these students that have helped to propel them to this auspicious day. And finally, will the faculty and staff of Capital University Law School please stand? The work that each of you does, both in the classroom and outside of it, is the backbone of our institution. And one last great congratulations to our Dean of Students who took the lead in organizing today's affair, Alicia Gilbert. I don't know where you are. Somewhere. And her assistant, Pat Fitzpatrick, and then my assistant, Debbie Scott. Also, I see Sean Cleveland out there and so many who helped put this together. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll close by saying that I always remind students, you may not feel very blessed and you may not feel very elite, but national studies have been done and international studies have been done that people who hold a bachelor's degrees are somewhere between the top 1%, if not the top 5 to 7% of the world. So I know that you don't feel like you are blessed, but you are very blessed by virtue of the fact that you have a bachelor's degree. And now that you have a law degree, you're even more blessed. And with that comes great responsibility. So as you begin on your journey, I always like to sign you off with something that my grandfather would always say to us, and then I will translate it into English, and that is this. Te pueden quitar la casa, te pueden quitar el carro, te pueden quitar la ropa, te pueden quitar hasta la mera vida, pero la educación, ya que la tienes, es tuya para siempre, y nadie de ninguna manera y de ningún modo te la puede quitar. Translated, that means this. They can take away your car, they can take away your clothes, they can take away your house, they can take away your very life. But education, once you have that, and now you do, no one, under any circumstances, can ever take that away from you. Don't ever forget that. You are blessed. And now, to close us out, I call on Pastor Drew.
Thank you, Dean Valencia. Graduates, at the beginning of the service, we invoke God's presence, and at the end, we offer a benediction, a set of good words to send you with as you now leave this community. So as you go forth into your next steps, we together wish to bid you Godspeed and farewell. Glennon Doyle once said that life is brutiful. B-R-utiful. Because it can be brutal and it can be beautiful, and often it is both and more at the same time. So as we send you with this, we send you with faith to go out in good courage. We send you into ventures that you can't see the ending, called by paths that have not yet been trodden, into perils unknown, but we send you with wisdom to apply the law equitably. We ask that you would embrace justice to apply the law fairly, and most importantly, inhabit mercy to apply the law humbly. In all things, from here until the end of all things, embrace compassion to use these skills, this education for the good of all people. So, with these words, we send you into all things, bright and brutiful, and may you in radiant splendor shine. And all the people said, Amen.
Martin Luther King said, the moral arc of the universe is long, but it bends towards justice. It is those of us who have the law degrees, who stand up for the rule of law, that are at the tip of the spear to continue to bend that moral arc towards justice. Thank you all for joining us today. Please remain seated until the stage party, the faculty, the graduates recess, and I hereby declare the 2023 commencement ceremony for Capital University adjourned. Thank you.
A reminder for all guests, please promptly exit through the doors to your left. Again, please promptly exit through the doors to your left and into the lobby. Thank you.